This is the software, and if you click on Twido, you're gonna have this 2 pages opening. One of them is for your one of them is mainly for tutorial, so online some sort of tutorial provided for you. It has lots of useful resources. The other one is our programming menu. Okay, and obviously the language we after is English. Programming mode. If you click on programming mode, if this is the first time that you install the software, you may get this message: a printer is not available, but should be okay. And then you're gonna see this window. Okay, it asks for registration, so click later, and then you will see this window. So now we wanted to create a new project. Click on create a new project, then you should give it a name for your project. Let's say test 1. You can also include your information like author, for example author, Ali, department, index, and some other stuff, and whatever information you want people see this information, because later on if you wanted to sell this product to market, maybe you wanted to have your brand on the product. So after we have done all this basic settings, then we need to save that by pushing the button create. So now the project has been created. So the next level, the next job that we need to do is to describe our hardware, because we are programming for a specific hardware. So we click on the hardware. This is the basic hardware that we have here. Obviously, most likely it is not gonna be the hardware you wanted to use, because it's just an example. So what you can do, you can basically delete that, unless if you make sure it is exactly the hardware that you want to use. Let's delete that, and then we can modify our hardware using this catalog. So for example, base. We have different types of base. As you know, as you remember from PLC 1, your PLC can be compact, modular, or extreme. And let's say for example we after a compact PLC. This is a compact PLC, or the other one. If you click on any of them, you easily can see all features of the PLC here. So you can select the one that you already have, because first you need to obviously select your PLC, buy your PLC, and after that you can program for the PLC. Let's say for example it is our PLC, then keep it, hold it, and leave it on your working space. After you left it here, then if you want, and if you have chosen a PLC with some modules, you can add modules related to that one. So let's say for example this is the module we wanted to choose. So you can see that actually we can't place the module anywhere, because this PLC is not compatible with this module, or this one as well. So we can actually get and collect some information about that as well, and see that okay, this one for example, the place that we can leave this module. is right here, right after the PLC. So that's that's exactly how our software should be look like. Sorry, how our hardware should be look like. So you should make sure that you place any of this hardware exactly on a place that they should be. Now, let's say we selected this PLC. So the next stage obviously is programming. We have some other settings. I will tell you about those settings later on, but now what to do about programming. The first stage is deciding and naming and tagging our I/O. How to do that? Again, if we are on describe, if we click on each module, then we will be directed to the information related to that one. For example, the modular PLC itself, as you can see, has inputs, has some inputs. In this case, you can see that our inputs starts with %I 0.0 until %I dot 23, and we have outputs as well. And as you can see, our outputs start with %0.0 until %0.15. So we can use these outputs and we can name them. For example, let's say we wanted to develop a program for a simple electrical motor. Let's call one of them, the first one, E-stop. The other one, switch 1 or start, and the other one, stop. Okay, and we have one output called motor. Okay, so if we have all these outputs and inputs, okay, obviously there are some other settings. As I said, we can talk about them later on here, but once we have done inputs and outputs, we need to save that. So by clicking here, then you can save that. Apply changes, yes. So it has been saved. The next stage is programming. So programming, that's where we can write the program. Twido supports ladder only. Ladder is the only program. Ladder and instruction list are only programs that Twido supports. So how to write a ladder? We need to create a new section, and in our section we can select contacts and connect them together. This is for contacts, and here this brackets, round brackets, is for coils. So for electrical motors, as we said, let's say this is our emergency stop. We can write emergency stop here. ES, we name it ES. You can see that immediately after you putting it here, the native address will be reflected in. Then the next one was a start. And it is they're going to energize motor, and we need one holding contact. So for holding contact, what we need to do, we need to use insert a link and create the link and connect it to the other side. Okay, I do that again. Click where you want to make a link, insert the link here, and now have a contact here, and that one is obviously motor. Now the program is almost ready. So what's the next level? Obviously we need to save it to make sure we're not losing it. Okay, then here we need to analyze the program. So analyzing the program means that checking if we have any error in the program. Okay, so you can see that we have a message, no start in run. That's a warning message, so we can carry on. This is not error. And we have a green color here. The green color reflects that it is all okay. Now if we wanted to carry on and send this program to the PLC, then we should click on debug. By clicking on debug, you can see that we need a connection for debugging. At the moment we don't have any connection, so we need to create a connection. Later on I tell you about connection, but for today I wanted you guys to look at simulation, because it's important to make sure the program is working before doing any work. This button is for simulation. If we click here, we can simulate that. Okay, your computer, like mine, may block that. You can allow access to the software and allow access to your firewall. Okay, and run the simulation like that. Okay, once you're running the program, you can control that and you can see what's happening here. So basically turn the motor on and off. That's enough for today.